Do you have a 2007 to a 2014 Cadillac Escalade? Well, I just traded up to a 2008 Cadillac Escalade ESV with a 6.2 Vortex engine in it. If you have one of these years, you probably want to check out my channel. In there, I will show you tons of repairs that you can do yourself with very little tools. It'll save you tons of money than rather you going to the dealership to have the work done. Just click up on the right hand corner and it'll take you to my playlist. But before we get started, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell. Believe it or not, this really helps me to continue making these repair videos. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Well, today I'm going to show you how easy it is to change your oil on your Escalade. So if you have a 2007 to a 2014 Escalade with a 6.2 engine, you can follow these procedures. So let's get started. So one of the first things you want to do is you're going to jack up the front of your car and you're going to place jack stands under it and block the back tires so it doesn't roll back on you. Or you could buy these ramps like what you see here and just drive your car up. Once you have it up, put it in park, and of course put some blocks behind the back tires so it doesn't roll back. So the next thing you want to make sure is that the engine is cool. You're going to be taking the oil out. You're going to get some oil on your hands, and what you don't want to do is burn your hand. So make sure that the engine's cool when you do this job. Okay, so the first thing you would want to do is look in your engine compartment and find the dipstick. It'll be on your passenger side, and right in front of the dipstick is the oil fill. You're going to remove this cap. Once that's done, get your tools, get some rags, get your oil drain container and your filter, and crawl under the vehicle. Once you're under there, kind of orient yourself to the front tire. Okay, if you look above where the tire is at, towards the center of the engine, you'll see the oil filter. Now, of course, oil filters come in different colors, so you'll have to recognize the shape. Now, if you look towards the passenger side, you'll see the oil drain plug. What you're going to do is take your 15mm socket. If you don't have a socket, use a wrench, and you're going to unscrew this bolt. This bolt should come out fairly easy. But if the previous person that changed the oil torqued down this bolt too much, it could be a little difficult to unscrew. Just apply the appropriate pressure and it should come loose. Once you have it loose, you can now turn it with your hand. Now, at this point, make sure your oil drain pan is right underneath it. When the oil comes out, it's not going to come straight down. It's going to shoot out about 13 inches or so. So make sure you're properly laying out that pan so it'll catch all the oil. Otherwise, it's going to get all over your driveway. If you also notice, I'm wearing gloves. You can pick up a box of these at Harbor Freight for about, I think it's $6. Once you remove the plug, don't let go of it. Don't let it fall into your pan. It might go down the drain hole and you're going to have a heck of a time trying to retrieve that bolt. Once you remove the bolt and the oil is draining out, just wait for a few moments till the oil has completely drained out. While it's draining out, we can go ahead and remove the oil filter. Okay, as you can see, I'm positioning my channel locks to the oil filter. Now, there's a lot of ways you can take this thing off, and they have a few tools that you can use to remove this. I just prefer using channel locks. Just place your channel locks as shown and turn it counterclockwise. Once you have it loose, you can start turning it with your hands. As you're slowly turning the oil filter, it's going to start to leak. Once it starts to leak, just let it drain. Once it stops draining, there's still oil in the oil filter. So when you unscrew it, make sure you still have your hand on the oil filter and don't let it drop, because you're going to get oil all over your place if you drop it. And again, make sure that the oil pan is right underneath you. Otherwise, you're going to get oil on your driveway. Okay, while that's all draining out, let's talk about what oil filter I'm using and what oil am I using. Now I'm sure there's some really good expensive stuff out there that you can use, but this is what I'm going to use, and I've used it in the past, and these filters and the oil that I'm using, I've never really had a problem with it. The filter I'm using is a mobile one, and you can see the part number there, and the oil that's required is a 530, so I'm using a Valvoline 530 high mileage. Okay, let's install the oil filter. Now before you install the oil filter, you'll see this rubber gasket here. Take some fresh oil and rub it around the rubber gasket before you install it. Once you've done that, go ahead and screw it in by hand. Be careful not to cross thread as you're screwing it in. Screw it all in there until it's hand tight. And then I take my channel locks and just tighten it up just a little bit more till it's nice and snug. Don't over tighten it. Now there's one thing I wanted to mention before you put your oil filter in. Some guys like filling the oil filter up with some oil before they install it. If you want to do that, that's totally up to you. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and screw in our oil plug. Go ahead and screw it in by hand first. Again, don't cross thread it. Then take your 15mm socket or wrench and tighten it. Make sure it's tight, but not too tight. Remember, this oil pan is made out of aluminum, and you can strip these threads pretty easy. So just make sure it's nice and snug. Okay, it looks like we're all done down here. One of the last things you want to do though before you leave is wipe everything down with a rag. That way if you do notice some spots on your driveway, you can go underneath and you can quickly find out where your problem's at. Okay, so we're going to go up above now, and we're going to go to the oil fill tube, and we're going to put a funnel in it. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our oil in. Since you change your filter, it's going to take 6 quarts of oil. Each container has 5 quarts in it, so you're going to need 2 containers. Once you're done filling it in, with your hand you're going to look for the yellow handle. That's your oil dipstick. Just go ahead and pull it out. Check your dipstick and make sure you're full. You're going to want to see oil all the way up to this dot here, right where the red arrow's at. Once you're filled up, go ahead and put the oil cap back on, and you're all done. Once you're all done, keep an eye on your oil level for the next day or two to make sure that you're topped off. If not, add a little more oil in. Alright, now you know how to change your oil on your Escalade. Wasn't that easy? And you saved a lot of money. You just changed your oil and oil filter for about 25 bucks. The next thing you're going to want to do is to reset your oil monitor in your car. So keep an eye out for the next video. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was very informative. Please check out my other how-to videos. Oh, and check out my new website. There's new items being put in there every day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course, hit the bell. Until then, we'll see you at my next video. Bye!